folks, I'm Tori. Welcome to Bass Strategy. Well, September is over, which means it's time for September favorites. I'm going to go over some of the favorite lures that I use this month. I've got 4 of them for you. And then I've got a special thanks of the month and a special no thanks of the month. So let's get started. September was actually a difficult month for me. I really struggled with that fall transition this month. It was a little disappointing after having such a good summer to almost felt like I hit a wall in September. But I did find some success. Let's start off with the lure that caught the biggest fish for me, and that's going to be this guy right here. It's a Dirty Jigs Finesse swim jig. And I paired that up with a Reaction Innovations Little Dipper. You may recall we went fishing earlier in September at a pond that I hadn't been to in many years. Well, the week before I shot that episode, I went onto that pond just to get reacquainted with it and was throwing this swim jig. I had gone expecting really muddy water based on the last time I had been there, and it was a lot cleaner than I had remembered. So I had chosen this really bold white and blue color. But when I got there, it just looked so out of place in the water. But I kept using it. Ended up catching the biggest fish of the month on it. It was a 3.4 pound largemouth, and it hit it over in, I believe it was 9 feet of water coming off of some vegetation coming into a drop off. I'll put the color in the description below, along with the lures. All the lures that I'm going to be talking about today will be down in the description below. So the lure that caught the most fish for me in September was the drop shot. Drop shot again makes its appearance in my monthly favorites. In August, the drop shot caught my biggest fish of the month, and here in September, the drop shot caught the most fish of the month. I did well with the drop shot earlier in September as opposed to later, but I did have a couple of good trips with it. And the lure that stuck out to me was this guy here. This is the Density Tackle Panic Minnow, and I have this in blue-green shad. This is a really good drop shot bait. I actually picked these up last winter, and since then they've come out with a specific drop shot lure, so I might check those out or recommend that you check them out. But this one, it's a bigger profile and it has a lot of swinging action on this tail. You can see how floppy it is, but then it also has these super realistic eyes on them as well. Plus that color matches, in the ponds that I fish, this color is just spot on. So now I'm going to highlight a new lure that I tried out this month, and that is the XZone Swammer. So this is what I was using on some of my larger swim jigs, and it had a really nice action on it. You got a lot of kick out of this tail, and it's a thick enough plastic that I was getting that rock out of the swim jig that I was also looking for. Those are 2 key things I was looking for out of a trailer for my larger swim jigs. I fish mostly, I would say 75% of the time I'm fishing a 3/8 ounce Finesse swim jig. But 25% of the time I want to move up to a 1/2 ounce and give it a little bit more bulk. And I was really not too happy with Kitech trailers. They're okay, but they don't really they don't give me that body rock that I like. The body rock that I do get out of the Reaction Innovation Little Dipper paired with that Finesse swim jig gets a really good little body rock, and you get a lot of pulsating action out of the skirt. So the Kitech really didn't do much in that regard on my larger swim jigs. So I bought a few different trailers that I had seen people had luck with, and this is the one that stuck out for me the most. Toward the end of September, And heading into October, one of the lures that I'm going to start throwing more and began to throw more often was a football jig in a dark brown craw type color. This was one that I actually had used and did okay with in September. This is a Dirty Jigs ½ ounce football jig, and that is, I believe, Hammerbury Craw paired with a Paca Craw trailer in just brown. But really, any brown or craw color is good for this time of year, so I'm beginning to transition out of my greens, blues, blacks. Those were I was using those springtime and into the summer, and now heading into the fall, I'm going into more of my browns, purples, orange, maybe a little red accent. Those are the colors that I'm going to start using going into the fall. And the football jig in particular, I'm going to be targeting rocks, right? So I'm looking for crawfish. And they like to be in and around rocks a lot, so I'm going to be targeting rocks, and nothing beats a football jig in the rocks. So this guy right here and other craw patterns in particular are what I'm going to be using, and I've started to use end of September, moving into October and the fall months. Alright, it's time for the special thanks and special no thanks of the month. Let's start with the special thanks. Now, over the course of the summertime, when I would head out onto the lake in the morning, by the time I got to the launch, there was plenty of light for me to set up the boat. But as we move into August and September, that morning daylight was dwindling, and now when I get to the launch, it's completely dark. In both August and September, there were a couple different people who came up to me at the launch and offered me light. They said they had brought a light with them. One gentleman had a little box light, battery powered box light that he used, and he wanted me to use it so I could see. And then another gentleman just had a flashlight and he shined it, and we chatted for a little while I set up my boat. And that's just really nice, nice of those people, and I wanted to point that out and give them the special thanks of the month. Letting me use the light and looking out for fellow fishermen when you could be on the water fishing was really appreciated. So special thanks to you guys. Alright, special no thanks of the month. We're actually going to go out while I was fishing in the moment for the special no thanks, and let's see what happened out there. I was wondering, how am I going to come up with special no thanks material every month? I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it this month. We got this live band playing across the pond here. It's just so loud. Did anybody ever really like that "Hey, what's going on" song? You know, 90s, I think that was 90s something. Hey, what's going on? Who liked that song? Every time it comes on, I'm pretty sure everybody complains about it. Now it's blaring across the lake. People ask me, why do you get up so early, go out in the morning, you can go out in the evening. So here I am in the afternoon, going into the evening, but I got a live band. I just ask for so little in the world. It's just one of the things is just peace and quiet, which is literally nothing. That's literally nothing. Just peace and quiet. Alright, special no thanks. Music blaring across the lake. Just want some quiet time out there, so special no thanks. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me that like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.